Good morning. Welcome to your Monday. It's a brand new week. It's 8:15. How was everyone's weekend?
It's good. You know, my wife, we went to this wildflower thing at Table Mountain.
And a lot of flowers in your life.
I was shooting some video clips for fun. My wife put it together over the weekend. I put it on my Facebook page. It's getting a lot of, I was just responding to people here.
Good.
It's fun. It's a fun way, and get after it because the sun will be nice today and we've got more rain and all that. Now I'm doing weather. But anyway, it was a good weekend. My wife worked really hard on this video.
So you spent editing. Cool. Do you guys normally or typically do videos like that?
Not usually. Shooting video is easy.
Yeah.
Editing video is hard.
Amen.
And it takes a lot of time. So remember, all the news that you see that we do here, there's a lot of people in the background making sure it gets on and it looks the best and tells the story. Editing is important.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I have to tell you guys something. I watched WrestleMania for the first time ever, and it was amazing. I didn't think I would like it at all, and I'm curious to know how many of you guys actually watch WrestleMania and are into that, because when I first started watching it, as she sips her tea, I was like, you know what, this looks really fake. And I was watching with Chris, and I was like, why are we watching this like it's so fake? Give me 5 minutes. I'm all the way invested in the storylines. I'm like, get him! It was just really intense.
It's all about the stories. Like maybe you know what they're doing physically is a little bit different, but it's about the stories and the villains and the heroes.
I felt so excited to watch Ronda Rousey's first performance in WrestleMania.
Yeah, awesome.
Who thought that would ever happen?
And then your weekend, you were all crazy about the rain, what's going to happen. I was trying to let you know it's going to happen, but later. But you must have had a great time in the Bay.
It was awesome. And Grandma came in from SoCal. Everyone knows Grandma Lola by now. So she's a big hit on social media. She's fabulous. She came up with my cousins, and it was just a really awesome time. So on Saturday, we went into the city, and we went to the Dodger-Giants game. Obviously not the outcome we wanted, but it went 14 innings. Yes, a historic game. Long. But by the time they stopped serving beer
at the seventh inning.
Why?
Because they're trying to get people to calm down before everyone gets out of the stadium. Yeah. It's a whole thing.
They don't know it's going to go 14. They're just assuming it's going to go 9.
So we're sitting there, and around the 11th inning, and we were like, God, we don't know. Is this going to go on forever?
Right.
We're all getting a little tired. We had been there. We got into the city around 10 a.m. So we had been eating and sipping on some libations,
juice?
if you will. Yeah. For hours. So at one point, I fell asleep on Caesar's shoulder.
I saw that on Instagram.
The ugly, and I was like, seriously, you posted that?
It was really cute.
That's cute.
But no, it was a great time. And then yesterday, we went to the beach chambers. I don't know if you guys have ever done this in Davis. It's probably really cool. I don't know if the age group, if the kids are still too little, or Lakin's too little, but we went beekeeping. We went with the beekeeper to look at how the bees make their honey.
Okay.
And it was and then we got to honey taste after.
Oh,
so
that's
Grandma
cool.
grew up on a farm down in Southern California. I mean, she was a farmer. Our family has farmer roots. And my great grandfather owned a farm, and so my grandma, when she was young, would have to pick cucumbers and berries, and she'd go on and on and on. So she has this love and this passion for things that you plant something and you see it come to life, and an appreciation for the agriculture in our country, especially here in our state. And so she loves Northern California for that, because my great grandparents had a bed and breakfast here in Sacramento.
Who knew?
Back in the day, and they got married here. We dug up the marriage license. So Grandma's set on finding their graves.
Right.
I'm like, Grandma, I don't know, were there proper burials back then? I don't know.
The Sacramento cemetery is right over there.
A general cemetery?
Do you think they could?
The city cemetery. Who knows?
I think next time we'll take her to the cemetery, because she is set on this.
This is cool.
It's a really cool. That's why we love. I mean, the California girl through and through with such roots, and it's who knew that Grandma had such roots here in Sacramento until she, from her sister who just passed away, got the marriage license that says here in Sacramento is where their grandparents had a bed and breakfast. Isn't that neat?
That's awesome.
So we went beekeeping. Grandma loved it. So I wanted to find some sort of experience involving agriculture.
Right.
We can't go to a farm and pick zucchinis like she used to when she was young. So I'm like, Grandma, there's this experience on Airbnb that you can go and learn. It's an hour-and-a-half experience, but you put the whole white beekeeper suit on, and Grandma with her big, beehive. It was amazing. The honey was really good too. So shout out to the city of Davis.
That's
for
really. I
hosting
had
this.
no idea. I'm gonna get after that. That sounds fun.
It's really neat. But anyways, how was your weekend? We can go on and on. Is there anyone chiming in about any of the topics?
They were not here for the beekeeping.
Oh no.
I think it sounds like a lot of fun.
A lot of people are saying, "Oh my gosh!" Even with the beekeeper outfit on, I would have like been running. I don't know, I just wasn't scared, but I haven't had a traumatic experience with a bee sting.
Right. Some people are allergic, and
you have.
I was at a softball tryout. I was up at the batter's box, ready to swing, and one stung me right there, and I lost it. I started crying hysterically.
Are you allergic? Did you
No,
find out then if you're
but
allergic?
I'm dramatic. And so my dad had to take me home.
Of course. I've never did. Did you ever pick up a bat again?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Anywho, let's talk about the first story that is making waves on social media, and it has to do with the 17-year-old girl. Her name is Lizzie yes, I wrote notes in my hands because I couldn't find paper. Lizzie Martinez this is in Florida. Yeah, FL means Florida.
I'm done. I am deceased.
Anyway, she was called into the dean's office because she chose not to wear a bra to school. Again, we're talking about a 17-year-old girl in a Florida high school. According to the dean and to other school officials, her nipples were very apparent underneath her blouse and were a distraction. So the dean asked her, I believe, to wear a second shirt so that it's layered, and then to move around to see if the nipples continued to be a distraction. Then sent her to the nurse's office and told her that she needed to get bandages and put them on her nipples because the double layer of the shirt was not appropriate. Wasn't helping. So now people are saying, wait a minute. Well, my thing is, why do one's nipples make people feel that uncomfortable or they're going to have to cover it? I don't know if maybe it's part of school policy where you have to wear a bra to school, but I just feel like it's touchy grounds to tell people when and where they should be able to
not a Band-Aid in the background. Oh, Chrissy threw all the shade.
A Band-Aid. And then the bandages in the back. I mean, not a bad solution to nipple problems. I know a lot of people in my life.
I've done that.
I've the double layered thing when you're wearing a dress and you don't want to have your strap showing. I mean, that's not the part that's like, oh my gosh, you told her to put bandages on the nipple. Like, no, I get it. But the moving around in the dean's office, it was a female dean. Does that make this situation any better?
So I will say they put the dress code in this article that we're referring to, and it says nothing about having to wear bras. It's not mandatory by any means. And here's my problem. If boys' nipples show through shirts, is that an issue? Nobody ever brings that up. If male students in elementary school happen to get erections, because it happens from time to time with young kids who are starting to figure out how their body works, is that ever brought up and demonized in this way?
My only come back to that is boys, what do you like? Girls wear bras, so that a part of the reason to restrict your breasts, or I don't know the full-on purpose of a bra in the beginning. Why do we even have bras? But boys don't. I mean, they have their underwear, but it's not like that is something that they can control.
Right, and honestly, wearing bras is probably something that comes from a patriarchal society wanting women to And so are we just propelling this idea forward by making our little girls have to wear bras at an age when they're starting to learn who they are?
In 2018, girls are all about, this isn't anything new. We have generations that come through. It's like letting the underarm hair grow out, wearing no bras, the whole Free the Nipple campaign because of the whole women's movement, the women's march that's happened in recent years. So it is a very freeing time for females, but when it's a female dean having to come down on a younger generation female, I wonder if the dean, of course she has to report to someone higher than her, where does it stop? Where does the conversation need to be had as, okay, how do we need to reevaluate a nipple's impact in high school?
Joshua Willison says that he thinks there is a line with minors in school. Young ladies should wear a bra, and as an adult, if you don't want to, it's free choice. But making her move around was too far, in his opinion.
I don't, first of all, as a man, I have never worn a bra. I have no idea what that's like, but I can tell you right now, from my understanding, you don't need to wear a bra. That's just kind of something that we came up with.
Right.
And if you travel a bit, you'll realize bras are kind of like Western culture. This is how it's just done in Western culture, but it's definitely not even international. In fact, if you took the demographics of the world, I would say the vast minority of women around the world wear bras. That's just the truth of it. With that said, here's this administrator. doing some of this, immediately we're like, I can't believe they would even do this. This is so across the line.
Right.
In that moment, I feel like this is just a cascade of just assumptions and just bad decisions that really weren't really thought through. Because if, let's say you're the principal of the school, yes, of course, she doesn't have to wear a bra if she doesn't want to. It's not in the dress code. However, there's a distraction. It's teenagers. I mean, if somebody, excuse my language, if somebody farts in a classroom, it's going to be a huge distraction, and it's going to take 15 minutes for the teacher to get everybody back on education. So I can only imagine in the background that some of this stuff was going on. So she's trying to, respect her rights, but trying to get her back in the classroom with having this thing go away. However, she's definitely making this girl feel very uncomfortable. And now it's this whole thing, and now you get the world of unintended consequences, where now it's this huge, gigantic story that we're talking about in Northern California, trying to assume a bunch of things that we don't know because we weren't there. But I can understand that the principal or the dean in this case was trying to just do something, and then ended up that wasn't the thing to do.
Susanita says that at 17, she thought that the girl in question would have been excited to wear a bra. But I'll say this, from 17 to 30, I'm never excited to have to put on a bra every day. It's just not something that I want to have to do. And my mom can confirm this in the comments. I would avoid it at any cost. And it wasn't until I got a job on TV when I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to have to start wearing those bad boys. They are unnecessary, unless maybe you have very large breasts. And then
there can be definitely an advantage.
There's the other side where they're very necessary should you have no breasts. Then I know growing up, but it's a thing in Southern California, it was a big thing. Padded bras were like all the rage. Like every girl when they were in junior and wearing, underwear from full briefs to thong was like a rite of passage that you become a woman. Oh my God, I couldn't wait till that day. You know what I mean? So it was the same thing with the bra of like, oh my gosh, I can actually fit into a Victoria's Secret bra. Like, yes. And so it was this whole, I don't know if it was just the time that I grew up in or the West, we grew up on the West Coast where it was like Hollister and Abercrombie and Fitch and the bigger breasts and all of that. And so the experience, I do understand where that person's coming from. Like, this girl should be excited. But I also didn't grow up in 2018 when Miley Cyrus and with all these girls in pop culture are freeing the nipple. And that is the fad right now. That is the trend now. And so I agree with you in saying that, there's nothing better than getting home and being comfortable.
Ooh, you ready for this?
Okay.
My mom is not here for me or this. She says she thinks this is really ridiculous that it's even a topic of discussion. Just be a lady and wear a bra. She had a real issue with me for years not doing that.
Yeah, but then it's that question. I understand where she's coming from, again, generationally speaking, right? Someone said, just be a lady and wear the bra. But then now, not to say that generation isn't a group of strong women. They are strong, resilient women who raised strong, resilient women. But now we're putting a foot down and saying, but why do we have to wear the bra? Why do we have to take a man's last name when we get married? Why do we? All these things.
This is what I don't get.
Have to come into play.
If a woman, why do they have to wear a bra?
They don't have to wear a bra.
And I think it's the hypersexualization of women in general that is causing little girls to want to have to wear a bra, little girls to want to be sexy. And if we eliminated that from the beginning, which is difficult because it's hyper desensitized in the media in general, you just have to put these kids in a situation where they're understanding this is your body. Whatever you feel comfortable with, that's what goes for you.
But it's also intention. What was this girl's intention? Because she just really was like, why do I have to wear a bra? Or was she like, I want to be sexy and show my nipples? There's a difference in intention.
Right. That would be hard to nail down. I mean, now you're talking, because they could say, no, it's not. And then how can you really prove that? You don't really know.
You'll never be able to know.
You'll never know. Yeah. But that's where my question comes into play. If we want to create this generation of, strong, resilient women who go, I don't need to wear a bra. It's my body, my rules. I absolutely believe in all of that. But are you going around and flaunting your body parts to be a distraction, or are you just going about your business?
Here's my thing, and I hope some people will chime in and tell me what they think. Are you offended by men who walk the streets of Santa Monica without a shirt on?
Of course not,
or Muscle Beach?
For so many years, it's the desensitizing thing comes into play. Of course not.
But see, I am. Like, I don't need that in my face.
You don't want to see a guy walking down shirtless?
If it's my man and he's in my house, sure, all day long.
Oh, West
You mean
Coast
just like
is,
walking?
must
You mean
be
just like
different.
walking the streets?
Yes, it'll happen even
What
in
about at the
Philadelphia in the
beach?
summer.
What about if they're at the beach?
Yeah, if you're at the beach, you're at the beach. But
Okay.
if you are
I
just
can-
walking
Isn't that
down
what
the
you said?
street, I said walking down the street.
Just anywhere?
Yeah, you're just walking down the street shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it in plenty of places that I've visited. Why aren't you wearing a shirt? You'd be so upset if women weren't wearing
But
a shirt.
I don't know, how often do you see people just walking around shopping without a shirt? I don't see it very often.
In the summer, it gets humid as heck, and people start taking off clothes.
I've never seen that in a mall.
In Venice
not
Beach.
in
At Venice Beach,
Venice
yes,
Beach
but
and
you're at the
Russell Beach,
beach.
it's
But so
nothing.
are girls walking around in tiny,
Right,
skimpy
in
bikinis, and that's fine.
Yeah.
No, there are just different
very open
circumstances
out there.
where if it's okay for a man to do something, it should be
Okay.
absolutely okay for us.
What
too.
about this? Take the beach out of it. It's hot. It's 90 degrees, and someone's going for a run, and they're on a trail, and a guy's got his shirt
a good-
off, and he's got
that's a good
running
one.
shorts, and he's just because it's hot, and he
I'm
doesn't
not
want to wear a
offended.
shirt,
I'm
and he
not
wants to get a
offended.
little color on his skin. Does that offend you?
No.
But in this situation, it would offend me. Not because he doesn't look great, but just that women can't participate in the exact same activity. People would freak out if
Well,
a
they
woman
can,
went
but then
running.
it'd be indecent exposure.
Yes, but then why isn't
Which
it
is wrong.
indecent exposure for
For
a
a
man?
man to- no, I
That's
get
what
it.
I want to say. Like,
We'll see.
why not?
It'll be interesting to
It's a
see what happens over
cultural
the
thing.
next
We just
decade
grew up
because
like
a lot
that.
of
Culture has
'Cause it's just-
sexualized breasts. That's why.
Exactly. Everyone has nipples. I'm just saying that there's not much different.
this is
I
true.
agree.
Some people have more than two.
I
I'm
know
serious.
Chandler from Friends, right?
No,
Who
no,
was
no.
it?
Third
it's just-
nipple.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. It's just like a little thing, but some people do have a third nipple. So I would say everyone has at least two.
Is
That's
well,
my contribution, the
some
weather
could
guy on
just
this
have
topic.
one.
Christian Cavallo is saying no shirts,
Or
no
Pierce.
shoes, no service. Let's see. Oh, a lot of people are saying no shirts, no shoes, no service. They can still be strong women. Going braless does not make you a strong woman, says Joshua.
Yeah, my whole thing is intent. You know, if this girl comes out and says what, and she has this like statement about being a female, and this, I mean, she could really help the movement of getting women's body parts to not be sexualized. I mean, a shoulder. I mean, sometimes I'm told here that don't show my shoulders when I'm delivering the news, and some will say, well, yeah, that's just classy procedure in morning time, and others would say, why it's a shoulder? Again, it's a piece of meat hanging off of my bone.
Not a piece of meat.
Sausage. So it's a piece of sausage. So I don't know.
So
It's just that's
this is
just
her
the
and her
thing.
mom.
Yeah,
So.
she's so young. Ugh, I just have a hard
I
time.
want to know what
believing that
mom says about this. If mom approved of this, is this something
was
that she
upset.
did behind mom's back?
And
Which
so
is
just
cool without a
to
bra.
broaden this out a little bit, one of the topics that we keep ending up doing, there's specifics. Each day is specific, whether it's hair or whatever, but I feel like the 16, 17, definitely 18-year-olds, obviously, but there's this backlash. There's this forever, it's adults are going to tell teenagers what to do, and this is how it's going to go down, period.
Right.
And there's a lot of pushback saying, well, how come all of a sudden I have all these rights at 18? Why don't I have some sort of say in anything at 17 or 16? It's not like they massively transformed in their thoughts or their beliefs or how they want to express themselves between 16 and 18. So what's this arbitrary 18?
Yeah.
That's what young people are asking now, and they're pushing back. And in
Right.
some cases, they're going to be successful in their argument. In other cases, it's not going to work out for them because the law is not on their side. But it's interesting because what is it about 18? I mean, I guess you have to draw the line somewhere, but
Drawing the
Right.
line, yeah.
Yeah,
They talk
but
about
it is
brain
interesting.
development and where people are
Yeah.
at certain ages.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more stories just like this one, all you got to do is hit subscribe.